the natural for a little while of Canary, but his natural is only being made now.
Yeah,
Sabres,
true.
that
He
is.
did. He didn't go ahead with like cloak or anything, so he knew to abort that plan if that was in fact the plan. Scanning to see what's going on. And yes, he's a base that is obviously fairly well covered here by Canary, but Canary has not yet brought, despite being like ridiculously oversaturated, has not yet brought this CC down. So even though it was done so much sooner and was able to produce a lot more workers, he's not going to be that much ahead of economy until this actually lands in a little bit here.
Yeah, and he's
He's
actually
also
even
only taken the one gas. Yeah.
yeah, and I was gonna say, just to boot, he's also supply dropping. So maybe he's a little bit
Yeah.
nervous right now as macro slipping, but I feel like he should be good. He transfers 12 workers looks like down to that base. I don't know what I was trying to say. Transfers?
Yeah.
What? I don't
Something
know.
like that. It's
I like this Widow
magical.
Mine right outside of Canary's base right here. I feel like
Yeah.
he's probably gonna run straight on into that. Like, there's no way he's not going to.
He's got a Raven, but even with that, I bet he'll just come and hit it. He may detect it, and it'll still go off. Um, yeah, I think we just don't expect that early in the game. Oh, what did it hit? Oh, it hit
It
something. It
just hit
killed
a
the
group of those Hellions. Actually, it does take out one Hellion. Canary's moving across the map now, and even though his natural base was put down a little bit later, at least flown down a little bit later, it is 39 to 28 workers. Sabre does not have as many workers as Canary here. He knows he's got to defend. He does have that Banshee out, which took up a lot of his early income, but honestly, I feel like Canary could be in a better position, but even now, Sabre knows he needs to defend, getting out those siege tanks, getting out a Raven, and right now, what's Canary going to do? Oh, just suiciding that one Hellion and see what he can see. And I don't know if this is wise for Canary to move in. I think he's got a significant economic lead, and he should just take a third base and keep upgrading, and that's actually what he's doing, and at the gold base.
Yeah, I think that definitely is the right call. If he ever actually had enough to move in anyway, he lost it to the Widow Mines. And I still don't think, particularly with the tank out, obviously I would not want to be pushing into this with very light units. It would take kind of forever just to take the tank itself down. And Sabre is perfectly adequately defended. The addition of the Banshee there as well, on top of an army that literally none of it shoots up.
Yeah.
Is kind of interesting. He's got another part at home. Like, he's got Vikings and some Marines and other things at home here, but it's not with this main force.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I completely agree, and especially right now, Sabre, he does have that double Banshee versus this, or actually only one Banshee for, sorry, not Banshee, double Raven versus only one of Canary, and I think that will favor him in a lot of these situations, especially since nothing shoots up. But at the same time, for Sabre, he is playing, he was very aggressive, but then he kind of decided to be passive, and at the top right-hand corner, he does have this barracks still just hanging out, so I'm a little bit worried for him, only because I feel like Canary's, even though maybe he's being greedy, I think he's playing a little bit more of the better play here.
Yeah, I do think so. One thing that's been plaguing Sabre throughout this game as well, he's been supply blocked at crucial moments a few times. He was supply blocked when he was trying to get Banshees out, and he was just kind of double supply blocked there. Taking a good engagement here, though. We still have
taking a very good
Blue
engagement.
Flame, but soon. Blue Flame finished.
Yeah, a couple
seconds.
more Hellions join in, but I don't know if there's enough here. Missile turrets do go down to the back of these Hellions. There's a really nice move by the Raven here for Canary, and they will get cleaned up, but he actually lost a lot right there. But that was the entire supply of Sabre's Hellions, which is really the backbone of this army.
And it was a really bad time, too. His opponent had Blue Flame. He had still the Orange Flame that was 10 seconds away. If he had taken that fight with the Blue Flame, I think he would have taken it hands down. But, yeah, didn't quite have the upgrade done until it was too late.
Yeah, and Canary's really stopped making Hellions. I feel like he got a little bit of a lead. I mean, he did get a lead right there with his Hellions destroying the rest of Sabre's army. And right now, he's just kind of going into... Actually, sorry, he's still going factory. But, I mean, he really took a lead in the mech advantage. And again, he's got his gold base. He even scanned Sabre's... scanned his island base and saw nothing was there, so I'm sure he's feeling good. My only thing I'm worried about is he's only now getting the second engineering bay, or not even the second engineering bay, but the fusion core and the armory. So his upgrades are a little bit not so good at 0-0, while Sabre is at +1 attack for his mech. So maybe that's why it evened out a little bit more versus Blue Flame.
He is moving out here now. He's got a couple Hellbats in drop ships. I think he wants to move out to the gold base, which he did scan. We'll first move up to the tower and see the army of Canary there.
Yeah, there is 2 Banshees here, but there is 4 Vikings actually killing them off really quickly. Missile turrets going down for Sabre. Sabre pushing forward. Oh, one big. I always forget. I always forget the worst one. Seeker missiles. I always think mines, and I'm like, crap, not that. But looks like almost the entire army of Canary's been pushed back. He does still have these Vikings here, but there's a point defense drone, and Sabre's pushing forward hard. Nothing that hits air, and he's going to be able to siege up and take out this 3rd base really, really easily. Actually, not sieging up yet though, and taking a decent amount of damage for that. Vikings coming in, but there's still 2 Marines for Sabre, and he's pushed that back. There is a lot of air for Canary. He does have that hold right now, maybe, but there's just so many tanks. Really, Canary needs to reinforce with just something that's not tanks, because he's not going to be able to assault this position. And looks like he's just trying to clean up any reinforcement lines. While on the other side, for Sabre, actually looks like he's taking that 3rd base.
Yeah, he does want to move out and get a 3rd established of his own. A 4th is actually already up for Canary, so even losing this gold base, I mean, he doesn't lose it. He just has to lift it. But that's only a setback to a certain degree here. Sabre pulled a nice little move with the Hellbats in that last fight. He had 4 of them loaded in medevacs and was able to drop basically right on the tank line, which ended up pushing that last one so much in his favor. Now dropping a little bit. Banshee trying to clean up these Hellbats.
Yeah, and I think that Banshee will. There's only 1 left, but the entire army is moving into the 4th base too. There is 1 siege tank will siege up. May actually, will it kill 1? It does kill 2. It's actually doing a decent amount of damage here. Hellions coming in from the left, but the tank and the Hellions are gone. There's only 1 Banshee here working away, really hoping to do something, but actually, Sabre's got to be really careful not to overextend. These tanks have been his backbone of his army now that he's replaced from the Hellions, and he actually looks like he may lose it. There is 2 Banshees here, and if he'd lift this Orbital Command Canary, he would not lose it. He may actually lose it here, though. Yep, he does. Oh, barely 1 shot left.
Yeah, that is a bit strange to do in general there. He did also attack the gold again at the same time. But yeah, that was a huge risk to put like 5-6 tanks on the line to get something that he could have lifted at any moment and like completely got rid of your entire benefit there. Yeah. Sabre is still in the mode where nothing really shoots up. He's throwing 1 Thor in there, but they're not.
Yeah, I was gonna
they're
say.
Still not the best. Like, you know, when it comes down to taking Thor. A Banshee out. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's definitely a safety
Thor right
here.
Air now. 6
and it's still
Vikings,
actually
2 Ravens, 2 Banshees. Yeah.
Yeah, both players have kind of overcompensated. I feel like Canary saying I can't catch up in the mech, and then Sabre saying oh crap I shouldn't lose in the mech. But right now, not actually adding in too many air is going for those Thors for the air, and it looks like they're going to be engaging. Sabre is at 2 attack, while Canary's only at 1. Lots of actually mines going in. Seeker missiles. I gotta remember that. But like the entire army was pretty much destroyed. What happened?
Yeah,
what happened right there for Canary's army is he moved in and wasn't.
And we are back here on the Overgrowth, the classic, the almost boring but good map. We are at game number 2. And up here on the top right-hand corner of the map, we have representing Team All Inspiration. It is Canary.
And I just noticed Canary actually has an A for All In, but it looks like he's a part of a college team or whatever. His little rotating symbol. I like that.
Yeah. And
in the bottom left-hand corner of Overgrowth, representing the Terran Nation, the Dominion, and ASL, of course, this is, well, quite frankly, the completely organizer of ASL, the everything guy for it, loves to play defensively. It is the Red Terran in the bottom left-hand corner, Sabre. And I just gotta say, from everything I've seen from him, he just plays not defensively, but very safely. Like, even his first supply depot, I'm just gonna make sure it's up there. Actually, yeah, that was his first supply depot. I'm gonna make sure no proxies, nothing. He's very, very safe, and I love that.
Yeah, he does cover his bases fairly well like that. Wants to make sure he knows what is going on. He's again opening with a double gas thing. He's almost Protoss-like in this, in that he takes the 2-2, and not very many Terrans do that. Um, it's a subtlety that most Terrans don't understand. But
And as a
that's what he's
Protoss
doing.
player, as a Protoss player who also plays random, like when I play Terran, it's kind of like I do that at first. And I'm like, oh crap, can I make this work?
Yeah.
Does this really work?
And part of the reason he is doing it the way he's doing it, of course, is that a factory is being proxied over on the right-hand side of the map.
Yeah, it's
So
definitely if
fun.
you're playing a TVT and you scout your opponent, that double gas is either Banshees or a proxy, which Sabre is doing. Even though he plays
Yep.
safely, he can also pull out a little cheese. While Canary's pretty much doing what he did in Game 1. I think he maybe actually is doing the exact same thing. This is a Hellion
Yeah, he
expand.
is.
Pretty typical. But versus Factory, I'm not 100% sure how this is going to work out, especially because the double Hellion is going to be out so much earlier because Reactor done right now is going to be able to get out double Hellion, maybe some Widowmine drops, but actually going for the Starport, this is just going to be a
In the
proxy
tech
Banshee,
file.
I kind of presume. Yeah, proxy
Yeah,
Banshee.
it does indeed look like that. It certainly extends the duration of this. He gets the scan put down on Sabre's base. He will see the barracks, the double gas being mined from. Um, but yeah, may not recognize what that is yet. He may just think he's like expanding in spot or something
Hmm.
so far. But the double gas has got to be a little bit of a tip off. He's moving the
Yeah,
factory in for the land, and I think that is not going to be close enough to be seen.
Yeah, I agree, but Canary knows this is going on. I think he's sending his Hellions to scout
Yeah,
across the map, and he will spot the starport here. First Banshee coming out and Cloak. It will get down in time enough, but Widowmine started there, and Canary's engineering base is going to be down. He's got a Viking coming out, and I'm not really sure how this is going to play out. Canary does have his natural base down, obviously, and that's going to really help him. And once he,
the
and I mean, he
Hellions came
knows
back.
Sabers. Ooh,
Yeah,
that's not good. He knows. I was going to say he knows
Hellions.
Saber's only on one base, but really with that double CC, what you're hoping to do is get some extra scans out. A missile turret will go down, and let's see it. It, it, it barely does. Yes, it does.
Yeah.
And Widowmine is out.
First Widowmine burrows. Will
Oh,
leapfrog forward. He's going to try and burrow
come
next
on,
to the one building. Oh, good kill.
sucker! That SCV is like, no, crap! Come on, go for the people that are close to you.
Yeah.
Banshee is
Banshee
up
coming
now.
in, of
Actually,
course, because it's proxy. Yeah, no cloak or anything, obviously.
Well, yeah, Cloak is almost done, though, and the Viking is there. If the Banshee can survive for a little while, maybe in a good position. Another Widowmine is out, and looks like it'll get burrowed. Ooh, and that missile turret is up, though, so they should be able to see it. Oh, big Widowmine hit, though. Nice right there.
He's
And did the
actually
Banshee go
okay.
in?
He's relanding the Viking down. He wants to bring the Banshee back to repair. He actually is going to let Cloak finish, despite the fact that the turret's there.
Hmm. And this double
And
refinery in the beginning is allowing Sabre to really segue into this double engineering bay, which is going to help him. And is that SCV there? Oh, come on. SCV that's healing the Banshee should go for the factory. And right now for Canary, he's kind of scared. He knows if he moves out, he could be in a little bit of perilous position to kill it. And he is deciding to defend the natural. No, he's actually going for the full move out here. And Lucy is going to clean that up. And once he cleans this up, there's literally 10 Marines, or sorry, 9 Marines in Sabre's base, while there is the same amount of Hellions. So this is just not going to go well for Sabre, especially with no bunker, no nothing. And he's actually putting that up in his natural, or in his main right now, on the ramp.
yeah, he really wants to get this medevac out, and it will come.
Boost!
I imagine at that point he will lift the starport, but it might be too late now because he's got the Viking there. And that took enough damage that it's not going to be able to go anywhere.
Yeah, it's just not going to be able to get up there, and especially there's a missile turret too on the edge of Canary's base. It'll die so easily if it just makes a little bit of an improper movement. But right now for Sabre, 1-1 on the way, and the armory is down. So
Yeah.
these Marines are going to be very powerful if they can get to that stage in the game. But just to remind you, they do not have stim, and they do not have. They do not have combat shields. So these Hellions are looking better and better against these Marines. They have to move in really quickly. The bunker is down, though, and Sabre's trying to make something happen. Maybe, I kind of assumed he's going to flank the army, but no, actually going for a drop, playing ultra aggressive here.
And he got scanned as he was picking up to move out. The army of Canary at the moment is just so much bigger, and it's fairly mobile with the Hellions. Um, Sabre, because he lost the factory, but then he lost the factory and the starport. He's been like reset to tier 1 tech at 10 minutes, and that's gonna hurt a
Yeah.
little bit. He's not even like
Yeah,
starting to really build it again. There he starts the factory.
Yeah, starts the factory now, so he's going to have to make a lot happen with these Marines, but the Viking actually catches the medevac out of position. It could kill it if he doesn't pay attention. Marines getting out, though, and medevac only 15 health, not going to be able to heal that much. He's got to be really careful. I'd probably just get home. He's got to remove that Viking first, though, so the medevac is not killed, which is a really smart move from him, moving those Marines out to try to take it out, and it looks like they will catch it. Oh, actually maybe pushing into the medevac, though.
Oh, he tries to maneuver the medevac out of the play.
So
the
close,
sick
so
moves.
close.
The sick moves. This is like the slowest in the head Viking. Yeah, push coming the other way.
And missile turrets going down. He's like, if you even have a Banshee, it's not happening. But he also has the Viking here with the army and a siege tank. This is looking like Canary's going to push really hard. Only two bunkers and 3 Marauders, but they're not at the front. They really need to be at the front, and there's no stim at all. There is concussive shells, though. So if Sabre can get a good angle, maybe something, but the other half of his army, these 6 Marines, are on the other side of the map, not even close enough to defend.
Yeah, he's just going to be in range once he takes vision, I think, of the bunker 2 to shell on it. Looks like the corner is just in range. Yeah, he does have to recognize this, move his army down to defend or something. There comes the Banshee right into the turret.
Taken out. Oh, the cloak. That's all muscle instinct right there. He went for the cloak, but it was already on top of the missile turret, so didn't do anything there. And, I mean, right now, Canary's got a beautiful contain.
Yeah.
You ain't doing nothing.
So, yeah, Canary currently...
It even gets the command center in the top left.
This is going to be really close for
Sabre has a starport.
Yeah, no, that's what I was thinking, actually. This is going to be so close for Sabre, though. He's got to make something happen, but his medevac left-hand side, okay, will be pulled to the army. He needs to pull back the Marines. He could maybe do a flank. I feel like that's probably the best option here. These Marines on the other side of the army for Sabre need to come in and try to make some sort of flank happen. There is a lot of Marauders at the main army of Sabre, but, I mean, it's just reinforcing so fast for Canary. I think Sabre wants to try to do some damage, but there is two siege tanks on Canary's natural. This is, I mean, it's just a hard contain. I feel like Canary's got this, and we'll have to see in this engagement happening right here. It'll depend. Sabre does have stim, though, now, and 1-1, while Canary is at 0-0, so...
Yeah, if somehow he can hold up for 2-2, he could crush this, but that's like a minute and a half away. That's probably not going to happen. There, a tank coming close. Yeah.
It's actually less than a minute away, 2-2.
Yeah. Well, no, still 60 seconds now. But stim would be done on the other side. Yeah, this siege tank has come close enough to at least start doing some damage, which puts a little pressure on. There is at least starport back out and everything like that. I think he wants this more for he's doing it through the sensor tower though.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
Maybe he wants
and there's missile turrets. I was guessing.
Yeah, maybe he wants to pull units away. I love that
not that many Marines at this force, though. There's a lot more Marauders than Marines here. And this is going to really key here. If he can split up the army, split up a little bit of it, and looks like they will take out one missile turret. Marines trying to follow the Vikings here. But, I mean, he's got to take out the sensor tower if he wants to make anything happen maneuverably, because he has to make some sort of flank. But Canary's like, screw it. I'm going for the gold base here.
Yeah.
And
this is very strange.
And for Canary, by the way, he has 0-0 on these tanks, but 1-1 for the Marines. Or actually, no, not 1-1 for the Marines.
No, not even yet. That's
3-3
they're underway. They're underway, but this is very strange. If he attacks from both sides here, then he could flank this army and win because he's got a double.
He could destroy the army, but he's got to do it right now before he loses his entire mineral line.
Like that, yeah, that army that he's got completely on the other side of the sensor tower needs to come forward. If he just flanks here, then this is probably a win.
If he just selected his entire army, he has to do it right now, though, and that's happening now. He is moving in. Both sides stim forward to the natural base, moving forward really quickly with these Marines, and on the other side, there is a preemptive stim, but it'll catch a little bit of the army. Sabre is moving in really fast, taking out a lot of Marines here, and there's enough Marauders. I think they may actually take out all this mech here. The entire army of Canary is pushed back that hold right there. One medevac gets away with 2 Hellions, but, I mean, he has a gold base right here, and Sabre needs to find that right now, and he needs to go for the kill. He's got this window of opportunity still, but to mention, he's got some Marines on the other side of the map, maybe for a little bit of a scout. He knows there's no third base, But there is a third base right here. That was a beautiful push from Sabre. I expected him to push, I expected him to keep pushing, so I just kept speaking quickly.
Yeah.
But then he's like, nah,
Yeah, I thought he would try and chase this down too. He does want to clean up, obviously, here. He needs to take his own third at this turret-riddled position. If he goes up this way, he's going to find this by accident. So it was almost a strange bait. He will.
Looks like he will, but on the left-hand side of the map, there is a drop for Canary. He knows he needs to make something happen. Third base looks... Oh, actually a planetary, though, but there's not enough SCVs here to actually make something happen. All the SCVs will go down. Tons of Marauders with this force. Literally, this is 16 Marauders. But, I mean, Canary knows he has to make something happen, but he's accidentally selected his entire army to move out. Ooh, I take that back, actually. Just some random Marines trying to take some Zelnaga towers. But Sabre literally just F2ing his entire... I think it's F2. Selecting his entire army here and going for the kill, while on the left-hand side, Canary will do a little bit of drop in the back of Sabre's base.
Yeah, and he will have to come back or send something back to deal with this. Doesn't want to just allow this little force. But everything is quite out of position. He's now stemming a little group of Marines back to deal with it. And he's got to know, as long as he checks the other bases, the other possible thirds, that was still a fair bit of damage for how small that drop was. As long as he knows what's going on in the other third bases and that there isn't one, and he's still got that original drop just sitting in the actual third.
I know, yeah.
His opponent.
I was expecting that to be pulled back when he defended that.
Yeah, like a long
is this
time
wise
ago,
from Sabre mining from? Sabre's mining from his horizontal third base while the vertical base is done, though, but there's a drop of the natural and will be cleaned up completely, and Canary's moving back across the map, but, I mean, he's at 0-1 with these tanks just so low. I feel like really Sabre needs to be really aggressive and just push across the map and take his momentum to snowball it right here.
Yeah, we've got Canary at the watchtower. Some of his tanks siege up, some not. There is still a very large siege tank count here. So even with the upgrade advantages that he does currently have, the window on that's going to close a little bit more as we go along. But he is 3-3. But still, this is a very, very, very good tank spread.
But what is Sabre doing with... I mean, he's got the third base button. He's got enough for a CC, but right now it doesn't really matter here. Sabre moving forward really aggressively. There's a lot of Marines for Canary and a good tank spread. Sabre really needs to stem forward with some of these Marauders on the left-hand side, stemming forward on the left-hand side and the right-hand side, but the Marines are so low in health here. There is a lot of medevacs, but the army very, very gradually fading for Canary, but not that many is left for Sabre. There's a lot of Marauders, though. SCVs being pulled into, siege tanks moving in, the third is taken out, but still no third for Sabre. GG.
Hello, we are here on Secret Spring, and our purple player has a little bit of a secret over here on the left-hand side of the map. Putting down a depot, putting down a gas, and putting down a barrack somewhere else is all inspirations Canary.
Oh, yes, and his opponent in the top right-hand corner, just below that proxy, representing ASL, doing his own proxy here, some shenanigans, currently up 2-0. It is the one, the only, Sabre. Really, I feel like it should be Sabre.
Yeah, it should be Sabre. Sabre, particularly in this instance. Now, we've got both obviously doing the same sort of proxy, same sort of thing. We got Canary, though, going with the bunker and the Hydra. It's cute. He thinks he's a Protoss. This is where you would do a cannon rush at. It's good. But
and it would be able to hit the refinery.
Oh, Sabre's going for a tech lab on his, so he's going for the Marauder type of push. Which too late now.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. I mean, it looks like it's going to hit late, especially with Reaper first coming out. I love that. You have to get, obviously, the gas a little bit earlier on, but with that Reaper, you can jump up and down the clip and then into the bunker, so you get some great positioning. Sabre does see this now. Reaper comes in and may actually get something on the other side of the map. I mean, there's only one Marauder started. Concussive Shells also started, but Reaper already going to work, and as long as Reaper's a little bit of micro, he's going to be in a fine position, especially when he jumps up. Oh, barely not quite jumping up into there, but he will be doing some damage. Another Reaper coming out, too. I would love to see a second Rax come down, but it doesn't look like that for now.
This is all going to be very strange. Now, Okay, so there's a few ways this could play out. With concussive shell, the Reaper can't actually come too close to Marauders if they ever have to fight each other. I assume he'll go in with a couple Marauders in a little bit. Sabre could probably load up this CC at some point. There he is. Now here's where it gets weird. If two Marauders go in and clear out the middle line to their mutual adequate benefit, they can then shut down, close the rocks between the thing. And I'm not sure that I'm not sure if the Reapers can jump up over that other cliff or not.
They cannot go through this. I don't believe so. We're not checking that out.
I don't think.
But it looks like actually a full SCV.
Well, they should be able to on the side.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I think they'll still kill it. Oh, he's gonna micro. Come on, micro the one Marauder.
He's trying to go back, trying to get to where there may be a bunker. The Reapers will come in, finish him off. Oh, bunker is complete. Yay.
And Sabre already landed his, and I mean, in the right-hand corner, your Reapers aren't going to really go there when you think about it. And it looks like, actually, I take that back, Reapers can get through.
I don't know why.
Kind of a funny position. Marines, though.
The Marauders were like considering shooting at the command center, forgetting that they can't. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah,
so the Reapers obviously can still go. Where are they? Yeah, the 3 Reapers can still like kind of cut in and out. Oh, on the light ground here.
Oh, he's got to be really careful here. Another Marauder queued up, but he does lose one Marauder there. Second one will go down. Doesn't do a lot of damage, but does slow them down. There is a Marine. Or sorry, there's only SCV in that bunker. So this is actually looking mighty fine for Sabre here. I'd rather... mighty fine for Canary.
Yeah, for Canary. Yeah, I can't see him losing from this position now. He's even got a Widow Mine out actually on his end of things. So he could defend pretty much infinitely. Yeah, the Marauders going too close to that clip. Yeah, definitely. Like they could just infinitely come in and out like that. Eventually they're going to find Sabre's other base. Like that's kind of an inevitability. He's not lifting his barracks up yet. It could get close to burning, like it's close to burning status, but it's not yet. Reaver cleaning up the SCVs here.
The one supply depot, SCV attacking versus SCV healing. Attacking does do more damage. There's this one barracks I'd love to see just lift up. But then if it lifts up, it's going to show the Reapers where his base is. So really the best thing is to leave it here. Maybe make him rain. I'm not really sure. Looks like he will lift up, but he's got to be careful not to lead it back to his base. And for Sabre, the economy coming up, he does have 900 to the 6, about a 30 or, about 100 mineral lead per minute. But Canary decided to take the gold base. So really kind of crazy here. Reaper's working on supply depots, though, which is really going to cripple Sabre's army.
Yeah, well, we've also got the Mule for Canary at the moment, where Sabre has never turned his into an orbital yet. Instead has actually gone ahead and added 2 gas as his priority, which is just flabbergasting in a way. But that's what he's doing, so I guess he's going to go into something. Yeah.
I feel like it's him trying to say he doesn't want to be late. He wants to get out of his economy, but then again, it's kind of a hard position. He basically, you either prepare, you do a really quick rush, or you like build up and do something crazy. And I feel like he's trying to prepare for defend both, or build up to do something crazy. You know what I mean? Something like a battle cruiser, or maybe just a straight up game. But one thing really favoring Canary here is he's got not only Reapers, but he's not blocked in, so he can defend very easily. While Sabre's kind of stuck here, and even the barracks of Canary, he knows where this is, going over to Senate, only now getting the factory up.
Yeah, once he sees this, the Reapers should be making just a beeline right towards this base. He's got to be aware of it now. He's actually going to, I love this, he's going to put the Starport on the tech lab that he stole from Sabre.
Can he use that? Does that work?
Yes. As soon as this is done, it will change purple. Yeah, it will turn purple.
No. What? No. That's not how that works.
That's how it works.
I never knew that. That's like the coolest thing ever.
It's really cool that he did that. That will allow him to get like a Banshee or something out. The barracks has actually just landed at the base. It's making a Reaper, which is now out.
And SCVs were working hard. Hellion will be out, though, but does the friendly fire in this? No, it doesn't.
No. but now the other Reapers will come in and join and just kill everything.
Yeah, I mean, they're going to destroy everything. Hellion actually originally going for the Barracks won't do that well for him. Will be focused down, and it's looking not too good for Sabre. GG! Canary takes game 3. Guys, welcome back to the Vanguard League. This is the quarterfinals for a best of 5. In the 5 o'clock spawn position on Catalina, currently down a game. It is 2-1 with Canary representing all
inspiration.
Name. All inspiration. I even asked him, I was like, wait, crap, what's the name? What's the name? And he's like, all inspiration. And I was leading up to it, and I was, yeah. No. But doing a standard opening, yeah, done pretty much every other game. I mean, actually every game except for the last one.
Yeah, I think this time he will do Reapers. He's already got it rallied there. But on the top right-hand side, we have from no team whatsoever, but from the ASL and from deep in our hearts, it is Sabre.
Sabre from France. Loving that French, man. Does that mean something in French? I mean, I know it's Sabre, but...
No, I just think it means Sabre.
Okay.
Sabre,
oh, no, I mean, like, he's told me before
Sabre.
He enjoyed being in France. He was in France for a little while, so it just sounded like something cool. But he's going for a very early scout. Now, both players are actually... No, both players are not going Reaper. Sabre is deciding to go Marauder to defend this Reaper. I assume one of the players... I mean, in this situation in TVP, you assume either you or your opponent is going Reapers. Now, is Marauders the proper response when you can defend it at home?
It can, yeah, I mean, it can be pretty good. Like, again, it's the addition of that concussive shell that makes it good, because you can actually catch them. And that's the idea. Like, if you can actually catch a Reaper in place, then they die. It's a matter that you never catch them. So a Marauder is a pretty good way to do that. And yeah, here he gets that first shot off, and he has to back out. He just can't fight a Marauder with a Reaper.
Yeah, if he gets about 3 Marauders, he's going to be able to cover his bases really well. And it looks like it's exactly what he's doing. Now, on the other side, SCV for Sabre kind of suiciding in there. Will scout off the entire main base, actually. And, I mean, right now, for Sabre, it's looking pretty good because for Canary, he has kind of put the money into these Reapers, yet at the same time, Canary going for the factory. So I feel like it's a strange situation. You normally you do see Marauders, but not generally as the complete defense to Reapers. It's generally you either both go Reaper or one player defends with some Marines.
Pretty much, yeah. This is only if you're, like, certain that this is the case. Because if he does anything other than this isn't great. This isn't the best opening in the world. But this is kind of like the cold, hard counter to it. And in this case, it's worked out.
And concussive shells is done now.
Yeah. And the beauty part about this, too, not only does it hold the Reapers off from actually doing their damage, but then at some point you end up with like 4 or 5 Marauders really early game, and they can just blast through anything your opponent's doing. So if you decided to like just attack, like 4 or 5 Marauders will take out a bunker like it's not there.
Yeah, I completely agree. The one thing I'd really like to see Sabre doing, which is what he is doing, is getting down this early, or not early CC, but the quick CC. While his opponent is also doing the same, it will be done quicker, but this is a lot different than Sabre has done in previous games. Normally the CC has been a lot later. As we've said, he's been a very defensive late CC. Now he will scout these Reapers with the Barracks, and I'd love to see him move in with these Marauders, but he's got to be so careful for them not to kind of switch around, and surprisingly enough, Reapers are not going to work on that Barracks. That's what I assumed was going to happen right there. And Sabre would have been torn between defending and letting a little bit of an opening happen.
Yeah, and there still is room. Like, despite getting kind of seeing that counter, Canary has still built 5 Reapers. So at any point that there is any sign of an opening, he still will be able to run those in. So Sabre has to be careful when and how he pushes out exactly, or else that could become very, very difficult to deal with. But Canary will, of course, also has to recognize when the opportunity has actually arisen.
Yes, and obviously Sabre is not still pumping out Marauders from this, but I really like the Hellion Viking composition now. Obviously, Marines can't hit air, So, or sorry, Marauders can't hit air. So mixing the Vikings because he has spent a lot of his early gas into his army going for the Hellions, which I like. And then I'd like to see him go for an engineering bay. He's not quite going for it yet because he will have a lot of gas saved up because he's going 3-3 into both of these refineries. But his natural base is still not quite down yet. I'm a little bit worried for him economy-wise, but he has came back from some pretty severe things so far.
Yeah, he just kind of hasn't brought it up and over. He could do the float down at any point that he's comfortable with it. Oh, there's a widow mine here.
Right. Oh! Almost actually kills that, and he pulls back right there.
Yeah. Yeah, that is a bad spot there. Not only does it catch the drop, obviously severely damages the medevac. Luckily, obviously not killing it, not quite enough to do that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was completely right there, but that pretty much shut it down. He really needs his medevac to be a part of the army, especially it has all 4 of those Marauders with it. So this Hellion Force does not have any of the Marauders that makes it really powerful, but there almost may be enough here because Canary's been constantly making SCVs, while that's not the case for Sabre.
Yeah, the Hellions here now actually get right on top of these Reapers, which just suck against them. But a tank from the high ground will come in and try and put some work in. He can still run away with these, but I think he's looking perhaps a little bit elsewhere. We'll pick up another couple SCVs, though. Tank trying to get close enough in there. It does take the last one.
If the Marauders were with that force, that would have won or pushed through at least right there because that would have taken out that siege tank, taken out the missile turret, and that would have been a huge win.
Yeah, absolutely. He could have just won the fight.
And only now is he moving with the Marauders, but there's a Viking ready for them, and actually a missile turret kind of in the main of Canary, so he's got to be very careful, and 3 Marines, but it'll be interesting to see if he can get some damage done here. Now, if he can, obviously, there's very little ground defense, at least in the location, to defend.
Yep, Sabre's drop does get spotted. He will come and drop those Marauders off. Medevac will get taken out, but the Marauders still on the ground. Going after SCVs, actually, though, going after different ones this entire time. So many of them red, none of them dead.
Yeah, and right now, Marauders stranded here. They will be taken out. Banshee working on it. They've got a couple kills here, but it is 7 kills, though. A little bit for Sabre to the only 1 killed, or only 1 of his SCVs killed. So not too crazy right now, especially when the natural of Sabre is so much later. Currently, it is 42 to 36 workers, not too crazy, but Canary, just previous games we've seen over and over again, has had a lot more economy earlier on, and it looks like he's really optimizing this and going into such heavy barracks production like he has not really gone to in previous games, while Sabre is just holding on to these Hellions.
Yeah, he's also got the 3rd CC already done, immediately going for a 4th one. He's planning to take a lot more of the map here. Get more economy going. The Raven and Viking fight over on the right-hand side, chasing a Viking and Banshee away. 2 Ravens and a Viking.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and they will finally push that back. I wonder if some Hunter-Seeker missiles are going to go into the main mineral line here. Missile turret is trying to get up to defend this. Missile turret does get up to defend the... auto turret gets up to defend it.
Yeah.
But these missile turrets started to work away in the mineral line.
Yep, and he's not pulling the SCVs away or anything. He's losing a good number of them here. 6 of them actually going down so far. 7, 8, no sign of stopping. He finally pulls a few away. 10, 11. Yeah.
We're at 12, 13
like,
right here.
This is that's just a lack of any reaction, actually.
Yeah, but that is because Canary tried to push across the map, but it's now getting pushed back by a couple of Hellions from Sabre. They are on move command, though. They will finally attack. They won't get anything here, but then in the main of Sabre, Canary's trying to make something happen, was not paying attention, but this has really allowed a really big gap in his armor to open up, and Sabre is taking is actually doing a lot of damage here to these Marines with all these Hellions, and Canary's kind of, completely torn across the map, while Sabre's, all his army is in one position here at now, and this is kind of crazy right now. Missile turret's still working away, and they're actually going to get another kill here. 33 workers Sabre has killed so far.
Yeah, he's just massively taken the worker lead here, and it's almost more due to Canary's inattention to what's going on. And Hunter-Seeker on that tank will split off, takes it out, but avoids any collateral damage.
And now there is no air support for Canary here.
The double Hunter-Seeker on siege tanks will take them both out, and the medevac. and that is almost the last of his army. Like this is what he had going on. Auto turrets are just still in the main base of Canary. They last for so long. They last for 3 minutes, which is crazy.
And they changed that though. They changed it from 3 minutes to 32 seconds, I think.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
I mean, I don't. This is like the one situation I've actually seen that and been like, they shouldn't be here this long.
Yeah, they're usually not in your middle of the line. Someone cleans them up by now, but they are still there for the time being. And yeah, about almost double the supply for Sabre at this point is workers 56 to 36. He's already got his third base established. The base for Canary is now down, but he's not even really. He could go back to mining from his main, but he's not even really fully mining there.
Yeah, and it looks like he's in a fine position for Sabre. And especially, I mean,
Yeah.
Canary really he does not have that much to defend. Sabre could attack now, but he's staying back. He's making sure he's okay. He does have some siege tanks in his main in kind of the edge of his main. But right now, he's just making sure he's safe, getting up his upgrades. And it's looking up pretty good for Sabre right here. He does have 1-1 on the way for Mech, while the upgrades of Canary currently 1-1 for his bio, but his bio is just not going to do that well because he lost so much into his main. Literally 37 workers killed while only one of Sabre's has died. And that was the first SCV that went into scout and suicided in.
Yeah, Canary really has to, I don't know, find a way to stall out. The fact that he's got a fourth orbital will help him catch up in economy a bit, but it's going to take some time to get the upgrades and everything back in line with his opponent. Still about 40 supply down. He's just kind of got to attempt to hold with what he's got and see what he can get going on the other side of it.
Yeah, he's got to attempt to hold, but he does not have any Marauders. Neither does he have concussive shells. These Marines will be able to do something, but if Sabre moves in, he cannot. He cannot let Canary kind of get a lead if he lets him be for too long. Sabre needs to move in, and he'll do a lot of damage. I think he's waiting for his 1-1 to come in, which just actually did finish right now, and he's in a great position actually on siege and getting Hellbats up. No medevacs. I'd like to see 1 or 2 medevacs just to be with these Hellbats, but he is looking like he's great position moving in, especially with 2 Widow Mines for defense if he needs to kind of pull back onto. And I said I'd love to see a medevac just to drop on these 2 siege tanks to try to make something happen.
Yeah, Sabre has also grabbed a 4th command center up in the top right-hand or top left-hand side of his base. Not an orbital yet, but will be able to expand into a 4th himself. Because of the 4 CCs, his opponent has actually caught back up in workers, 63 to 66, but still behind in most other aspects.
Yeah, but now a large group of Marines stemmed to the third base of Sabre, actually targeting it down. Fast Hellions getting in, though. The Hellbat's a little bit slower. None of these siege tanks are up right now, but we do see a point defense drone go down, and a lot of these Marines being pushed. Oh, wait, is that actually... Whose point defense drone is that? No, sorry, that is Sabre, and I mean, Sabre needs to make something, or not needs to make something happen, but he cannot let Canary take a lead here. He's got to move in for the attack. If he attacks, he's going to be in a fine position. Even though Canary's got a lot of Vikings, they're actually, yeah, Canary's more Vikings than him. There is the 1 Raven to make something happen, but Sabre just needs to move in and get a lot of damage done right here, which he can definitely do.
Yeah, absolutely. There's so many Hellbats here. They have Blue Flame. There's so many tanks. Like, there's 11 tanks. They could just come in unsieged and not even worry about it. It's just not an issue. He will end up dropping some of the Hellbats here on the force itself, unsieging up. The Marauders going forward, trying to hold this back. So much here. The Hellbats dropping directly in the middle of everything, not even sieging the tanks, just plowing through is Sabre. Looks like he is going to go on and take this one. Will take out this base completely as the Hellbats just continue to shove down the ramp. The command center will fall and
GG!